Be intentional about everything in life.
Hi everyone, Chesca is here again, and we are in the last week of February. Wow, the year is running so fast. I tell you what, for someone with a lifelong love for chocolates, I know how difficult it is to cut down on them, let alone go cold turkey and give them up. What am I saying? Sometimes I find it very difficult to make some changes in my life, especially at this time of the year. You know, with the New Year resolutions you make and you kind of can't keep up and all that. And I believe that apart from a few people with superhuman levels of willpower, most of us may find ourselves in the same boat where we may be struggling with our New Year resolutions. We've probably lost hope already, and the excitement has died down, and you're feeling that you couldn't achieve what you set out to do. But don't beat yourself up too much, because you're certainly not on your own. You are not on your own. Be intentional in picking yourself up and get going. You know why? Because nobody is going to do that for you. No one is going to pick you up. You must be your own cheerleader, and you must be your own number one fan. To be honest with you, people who may do that would be people you don't even expect to be there for you. You don't expect them to encourage you. Best case scenario, you may have your family and your loved ones probably going, they are going to be able to cheer you up when you've got there, when you've got it all right, when you've got up the ladder. And that's when you might hear things like, oh, I knew this one when he was so and so, I knew this one when he was a baby in diapers, oh, he's my mother's blah blah, he's my father's this, oh, I knew him, he was a nobody. That's probably what you're gonna get when you have got there. But until then, you have got to be intentional and be your own cheerleader. Not everyone will support what you're doing, and not everyone will validate you. Go ahead, cheer yourself and be your number one fan. And whilst we are on the word be intentional, as I'm asking you to be intentional in your own cheerleading, if life is going to be anything, if life is going to happen for you, if life is going to be any good for you, you have got to live life intentionally. You have got to be intentional about whatever you are doing. It is critical and it is very, very important that whatever you set out to do, you do it on purpose. You do it intentionally. You do it intending that you are going to do it to start with, and then taking some actions. I mean, to be fair, sometimes in life things don't always go to plan, and we get passive, and we find ourselves in the position of adopting the lifestyle of, or the posture of care sera, what will be will be, life happens attitude. It's life. I mean, let's get in the flow. But no, life doesn't just happen. Yeah? Ask those around you that you reckon they've made it to wherever they have got to, and they are going to tell you that life doesn't just happen. Neither does the things that we go through, or the things that happens, the hindrances, the stumbling blocks, the progress, the backwardness. All of it is part of life. It just doesn't happen. None of it is an accident. Life must be lived intentionally. Yes, occasionally, some things may happen and may be out of our control. We may not be able to control everything that happens in life. You may not have it all. You may not have had a parent you probably thought you needed to get you where you were going. You probably didn't grow up in that environment that could boost you to whatever pedestal somebody is on. You may not have gone far in your education to acquire what it takes to be somewhere that you desire to be. Yes, all those things may happen in life. You don't have control over them. But the bigger picture is that life doesn't just happen. You have got to be intentional in making it happen. That is what life is about. I may not be too old, but whatever I have been through, whatever I have gone through, I know and I can honestly tell you that life doesn't just happen. You don't sit and things just work out for you. But at some point, whilst you still have got life, you have got to be intentional in choosing to do that thing that you want to do. You have got to be intentional in choosing to live a life in such a way that every day, every minute, every second counts. You have got to be intentional in choosing the company you find yourself in. You have got to be intentional in choosing the conversation you get yourself into and the battles you choose to fight. It is something that you've got to do. You have got to be intentional in getting involved in every step of life, every decision that you make, including the decision to give up. You have got to be intentional about it, including the decision to sit back and do nothing, including the decision to just probably sleep all day and find nothing doing. That would be your choice. That is something you have got to be intentional in doing. We cannot go life blaming circumstances. Neither can we go life blaming people and holding people responsible for everything. At some point in time, you have got the responsibility to make it happen or not happen. And that is what I call intentional living. It's all about you and what you decide to allow and disallow. What you decide to happen and not happen. And the steps you take. What is it that they say? There is a saying that excuses are tangible reasons not to do what you are supposed to do. They are tangible reasons, very good reasons. I mean, you've got very, very good reasons not to do what you have to do. But that is called an excuse. Because somebody else in the same situation may have done better, probably worse situation, yet have achieved something. So whilst you give yourself a reason not to do what you are supposed to do, ask yourself, am I just making an excuse? Or is something really stopping me? It begins with a decision. It begins with a consciousness of taking stock of your life, a consciousness of taking stock of what you are doing, a consciousness of taking stock of your thought pattern, your thinking pattern, how you think, how you process things, what you do, what you say. You have to take stock. You have to assess how you say what you are saying. You may be right in saying what you are saying, but how you say it is your responsibility. You have got to be intentional in how you show up in your own challenges in life, in the lives of others, in how you handle situation, how you see things. But most importantly, intentional living is going to demand action from you. Yeah? You cannot set out to be intentional and do nothing. It actually requires you sometimes moving from one day I'm going to do this. Someday I would like to be this person. Someday I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Intentional living demands you moving from that point of someday to today. What can I do today? What can I say today? What can I think about today? What can I entertain in my mind today? What can I allow in my spirit today? What can I allow in my emotions today? You have got to be intentional about it. Yes, I made a bad call. Yes, I made the biggest mistake of my life. Yes, I Because of the bad decisions I made, I found myself in this situation. But how do I salvage it? What is left? That is being intentional. You've got to be intentional about adding value to yourself. You've got to be intentional in not beating yourself about everything. Or you've got to be intentional in not living in regrets. That is a difficult one for me. But you have got to, at some point in time, you have got to stop blaming yourself. At some point in time, you have got to stop regretting over that stupid decision you made. And then get up, salvage what is left, take hold of what is left and do something with it. You see, the good thing, the beautiful thing about life when it's lived poorly is that what lies ahead makes a big difference. Nobody's life is a waste. I always say that God doesn't waste resources. I love that statement ever since I heard it. Can't remember where I heard it from, but God does not waste resources. And so whatever happens in your life, it's not an accident and it's not a waste. Don't beat yourself up too much. Pick yourself up and get going. And guess what? When all is said and done, intentional living demands that you do not allow the critics to have a lot to say in your life. Oh yes, they might have a say, all right? You're always going to come across naysayers. You're always going to come across people who will not be happy with what you are doing or what you are saying or the step you are taking. In fact, there are people whose job in your life, their job is to pinpoint what is going wrong with you, what you are doing wrong, what you are not doing right, what the sad end could be. They are there for a purpose. Yes, I know. They are there for a purpose. Those people, they actually never try anything. No, they can't walk in the shoes you're walking in. No, they won't be able to walk in those shoes, but they will be able to tell you can fail. That is their job. Their job is to point it out to you. But hey, lovely people, they are entitled to their opinion. Allow them. However, what you do about what they are saying and how they are stopping you and how they are criticizing you is what you have got the power to be intentional about. You have so got the power to be intentional in how you respond to such criticism. You have to. And whilst we are still on criticisms, by the way, not all criticism is bad. No. And so you don't go around thinking that anybody who criticizes you, anybody who points out what you're doing, which is wrong, is against you. No. The same way anybody who is telling you, oh, you're doing so well, oh, I'm being blessed by your message, oh, you're doing it fantastic. No, they are all not on the same page with you. They are all not on the same page with you. They don't love you. It's not because they love you that they are saying you're doing well. Neither is it because they hate you. So they are saying you're not doing well. You need the criticism. You have got to be intentional in how you receive the message, in how you handle it, in how you allow it to get to you. The year is still pretty young, very, very young, but it's running real fast. The question is, how are you going to live the rest of the year? But most importantly, how are you going to live today? What are you going to be intentional about today? How are you going to be intentional today? Be intentional in being nice to someone who is being nasty out there. Today, be intentional in offering a smile to somebody who is in pain. Today, be intentional in waiting for that response. When you ask somebody, how are you? Don't just pass by. Be intentional. Stop and hear them say, I am well. Are they really well? I am good. Are they doing good? Be intentional in knowing. I think the world will be a better place if we are all being intentional about something little in our lives every day of our life. Be intentional in giving somebody an eye contact so you could pick up the body language. Is the person in pain? Is the person telling the truth? Is the person lying about something because of a complex problem? It's the person not being honest because of a deep-seated situation. It's the person being a very challenging person because of something going on in the person's life. Be the one who gets intentional about finding out. Be intentional in getting out of your comfort zone and doing that thing that so scares you. Be the one who always find a way out when there is no way. Be intentional in taking time for yourself. Don't work too hard and not spend the money on yourself. Be intentional in giving yourself a good treat. Be intentional in taking a break. And stay back, stay home, do nothing, just relax. Pamper yourself, go for a spa, go and watch a football match, do something that you love to do. Be intentional in relaxing. Take time for yourself. You work too hard, you work every day, 5 days in a week, 7 days in a week. What for? Money you are not even spending on yourself. Be intentional. Be intentional in spending time with quality people, with lovely people, with your family, with loved ones. Be intentional in taking stock of the people in your life, what you add to their lives, how important the influences are. Your loved ones. Be intentional in living life with them, having fun. Enjoy life, relax, spend the money, and live life. Go on holidays. That's me. I'm talking to myself. Go on holidays. Have fun. Be intentional in having fun. It is very important.
Be intentional about everything.